Yeah, give me a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and get started here in just a moment. Start sharing some stuff. I'll be right back with you all. And we'll get started. Excuse me. As long as my computer cooperates, we'll get started in about 5 minutes. All right, there we go. Everybody hold on for a second. We're just getting loaded up. I'm making sure I'm sharing everything to different areas. Just one moment. Put all my links in, then we'll get started. All right, let's go ahead and Get ready to start my recording, and we'll go ahead and get the introduction going. And hopefully we got enough people who joined us so far. I'm going to check my YouTube people to see how many have joined on. Now remember, if you are looking for a load this morning, give me a call, 866-973-6445. That's 866-973-6445. So okay, don't forget 866-973-6445. That is the number to call this morning if you are looking for freight. I'm gonna go ahead and post this on Facebook and go ahead and put it out there. But what that number is, let me go ahead and make the adjustments. I'm gonna put the number up here. All right, I made the adjustments. Let me get this shared out to a couple of places, and then we will go ahead and get started with our load report. Remember, 866-973-6445. That is the number. 866-973-6445 is the number to call if you're looking to get a load this morning. So if you need freight, if you're out there, if you're an owner operator, if you are a dispatcher, if you need freight, give me a call. I am going to need your DOT or your MC number and the type of truck and trailer that you have and your location. And then we will look for you freight live on the load board report this morning for this hour of the load board report. And go ahead and get you all loaded up. Okay, so let's get that done. You all really want to get some freight this morning, and I will look for freight for free. Looking for freight for free this morning. Okay. For those of you who are looking to get loaded, this is your chance to get some free freight. We do this every weekday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So if you're looking to get some freight, go ahead and call the load board report, 866-973-6445. 866-973-6445. All right, I'm sharing this out to the last place right now. So we can go ahead and I'll go ahead and start my recording so we can go ahead and get started with the load board report. Okay, let's go ahead and do our thing. And let's get started. Give me a second. We are streaming. I'm going to start my recording. All right, good morning, everybody. This is Calvin Butler with the RBBS, Logistics Learning Centers, and the National Dispatch Network. And it is approximately 9:26. We're getting started a little bit late, so we're going to go until about 10:30 this morning. And this is the load board report. Thank you all for joining me here. I appreciate you all for joining me live here on the load board report. We are live on YouTube. We are also simultaneously sharing this live on Facebook and a couple other groups. As I told y'all on yesterday's load board report, we are now broadcasting at a later time from 9 a.m. to about 10 a.m. or 10:30 because I wanted to get you all more engaged and show you all what it's like to actually engage and to actually talk to brokers when you're trying to set up a load for your carrier. As a dispatcher, when you call up the brokers, I want you all to have that real-time feeling of what it's like when you actually contact the broker, when you call them up and you're trying to set that process up. I want you all to see that in real time. So let's go ahead and start with the load board report. I'm going to start sharing my screen. Now, as you all know, this is brought to you by the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. We are an actual vocational school located here in Tallahassee. We have on-site training, but this segment of the load board report is always sponsored by our online training platform, which is also in conjunction with the RBBS National Dispatchers Network. Training in the convenience of your home, our online platform will train you to earn 100K plus from home, dispatching freight, and provide the online network tools, resources, and training to ensure your success. You get access to more than 100 load boards, access to more than 140,000 hours of operational training videos, because our students don't have to pay for load boards. They get free load boards. Well, they're paid, subscription paid load boards, but we pay for them, and our students get access to them. You get access to 140,000 hours of operational training videos. You get access to more than 19 million direct shippers, access to every register owner operator in the United States, access to live training every Thursday night. We have dispatch training from 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via Zoom. On Saturdays, we have broker training from 10 a.m. till about 12 p.m. on Zoom. Access to our logistics library that has every word, phrase, and term ever used in trucking. You also get access to our network of more than 2,967 industry professionals. Everybody who's within our network. You all come together on our Facebook private groups and our Clubhouse group where y'all get to talk to each other, help each other to understand the industry. You help each other to be successful. You get to network with each other. One moment. Let me take this phone call. I do apologize, everybody. This is Calvin. Hello? Hello? Yes, I'm in the middle of my load board report this morning. All right. I apologize, everyone. Okay, as I mentioned before, you get all of that, and our most popular enrollment is just $349.95 on the enrollment, and our monthly subscription is $39.95 per month to access all your back office tools, resources, training, support. And we now accept Afterpay. We are partnered with Afterpay. You can pay over 6 weeks, make the first payment up front, and the rest over time. Always interest-free when you pay it in 4 weeks. Look for the Afterpay option at checkout. You click here, go to our enrollment checkout, or you can click here where it says several enrollment options available. To view all options, click the online enrollment, or you can come down here and we have laid out our 3 most popular enrollments, and you can take a look at those. And then if you want to enroll, you click here where it says get started today, enroll now. All right, so let's move on. Let's go ahead and check our YouTube channel to see who we got who's watching so far this morning. So far, we have 6 people watching, but no one has checked in yet. No one has checked in to the live stream. Now, remember, if you are looking to get started this morning, go ahead and click on our. We have a phone number here that we have posted. We have a phone number that we posted to get a free load. Call 866-973-6445. I'm going to post that again. Okay. I'm going to post that again. Okay, there it is again. All right. There it is again. We posted that again. This is to get a free load. call 866-973-6445, extension 0. So if you are an owner operator out there, or you are a dispatcher, you're looking for freight, go ahead and give us a call this morning so we can go ahead and get you some freight. It's free. We won't charge you anything for it. We'll go ahead and make the call, look the load up live on the load board report. We'll go ahead and contact the broker, go ahead and make the arrangements, and then we'll go ahead and put you in direct contact with that broker. You can go ahead and grab that load and go make some money this morning. So let's get it done this morning on the load board report. All right. Let's go ahead and see what's going on in your neck of the woods when it comes to freight and load availability, everyone. Let's go and see what things are looking like in your neck of the woods when it comes to freight and load availability. Now, give me just one moment. All right. As you all can see, we're back on our favorite load board this morning. The load board report this morning, we are looking at direct freight. That's the load board that we are on. It is direct freight that we're looking at this morning. As you can see, we have a map of the country, and let's go ahead and see what's going on in your neck of the woods when it comes to freight and load availability. In California this morning, we have 1,018 loads that are showing available in the state of California. In Oregon, we have 521 loads. In Washington State, we have 628 loads. In Montana, we have 79 loads this morning. In Idaho, we have 398 loads. In Nevada, we have 123 loads coming out of Nevada this morning. In Arizona, it looks like we have 230 loads that are showing available in Arizona. In Utah, we are showing 487 loads in Utah. In Wyoming, we have 121 loads that's coming out of Wyoming this morning. In Montana, we have 79 loads again. And Colorado, we are showing 348 loads that are available currently in Colorado. In New Mexico, we have 142 loads. In the great state of Texas, I think Texas is leading right now, which is with 1,698 loads in the great state of Texas. Oklahoma is showing 193 loads. Kansas has 246 loads. Nebraska is showing 151 loads. South Dakota, 124 loads. North Dakota checking in with 102 loads. Minnesota has 307 loads available this morning in Minnesota. In Iowa, we have 286 loads in Iowa. In Missouri, the show me state, they're showing us 528 loads. In Arkansas, we have 836 loads. Louisiana, we have 462 loads. In the great state of Mississippi, the MISSISSIPP, we have 481 loads. In Tennessee, we're showing the triple fives. That triple fives, but so I better go out and pay that on the lottery this morning. We have triple fives. If you're in Tennessee, y'all better go pay that pick 3 at 555, because that's the number of loads that are coming out of Tennessee this morning. In Kentucky, they have 474 loads out of Kentucky. In Illinois, they have 1,191 loads. A lot of loads up there in Illinois this morning. Indiana, we're showing 886 loads. In the great state of Michigan, up there surrounded by some of the snow caps, we have 443 loads this morning. In Ohio, we have 849 loads. Indiana, we have 886 loads. In where we at here? Okay, we're gonna drop down here to Georgia. No, Alabama has 1,045 loads. But Alabama is kicking it this morning. In Georgia, 1,055 loads. They're kicking it this morning. In Florida, we have 653 loads coming out of Florida this morning. South Carolina, 458 loads. North Carolina, 524 loads. If I didn't mention Kentucky, let me do it right now. 474 loads out of Kentucky. Virginia has 526 loads. West Virginia has 210 loads this morning. PA has 1,066 loads. But this little area up here is always have a good load count. The Illinois, the Indiana, Ohio, PA area, that little strip right there, you can always count on some good freight coming out of there, and it's always a great amount of it. In New York this morning, we have the city that never sleeps, New York. We have 501 loads out of New York this morning. We're going to jump up here to Maine. We are showing 103 loads in Maine. In New Hampshire, we're showing we're showing just 22 loads. In New Hampshire, Vermont, we are showing 25 loads. In Massachusetts, we're showing 255 loads. In Rhode Island, we're showing 14 loads coming out of that little Rhode Island there. In Connecticut, we are showing 74 loads. New Jersey, the little brother or little sister to New York, we are showing 427 loads. Delaware is reporting in with 23 loads this morning, and Maryland is reporting in with 291 loads. And for those of you up in the super trucker land in Alaska, showing 2 loads. I don't have a report on Hawaii, but I understand there are some good freight that runs in Hawaii, but you gotta have that Hawaiian load board to look for loads in Hawaii. But anyway, that's the load board report this morning as far as what's going on in your neck of the woods when it comes to freight and load availability. Let me check my YouTube channel again, see who checked in. We have some people who have checked in this morning. Mr. James Sears is joining us on YouTube. Good morning, Mr. Sears. Miss Alicia Ohio, so fly. Good morning to you as well. And Miss Lisa Jeanette, good morning. Remember, if you need a load, if you are a owner operator and you're somewhere right now, you're sitting in your truck and you're saying to myself, my God, I need a load. I need a load. Where am I going to get some freight from? I need a load. If you need a load this morning, go ahead and hit me up. I'll put the number up here again on YouTube. And this is where you're going to go to get a load. You're going to call 866-973-6445. Be prepared to give me your DOT number and your or your MC number, because the brokers, they're going to want that when I call up the brokers before they even really start to talk to you about a load that they posted. They're going to want to know that DOT or that MC number, because they want to know if, first of all, if you are authorized to run their load, and they're going to want to check your status to make sure you are indeed you have an active DOT number, active authority, and they want to make sure to see if you don't have any flags on your your authority, anything like lapse in insurance or over accidents, a lot of overweight reports, or stuff like that. So they're going to run that check real quick. It takes about 3-5 seconds. That's it. 3 to 5 seconds. That's all it takes. You just punch the number in, it pops up. Everything that's flagged is going to show up in red. If they get a whole bunch of red, they're going to say, well, we can't load that carrier. If it comes up and it says right at the top that they're not authorized to run with them yet, then they're going to have to send out a carrier packet to that carrier or to the carrier dispatcher, and that's got to be completed. And then once they get that carrier packet completed, then you are authorized to run those loads. So if you need a load this morning, give me a call. We are looking up freight live here on YouTube, and we are giving it away. That's right. We give away freight on YouTube. That's what we do every morning on the load board. We just give it away. Now, I sometimes like to give away stuff, but if you call me after the load board report goes off, I don't give away stuff. Okay, because during the load board report, I'm very charitable. But after the load board report, I stopped giving away stuff. Okay, I start charging these. So if you call me up after the load board report, and if you're not one of my carriers, I'm going to go ahead and send you out a dispatch agreement that you have to sign, my dispatch agreement, and then I can find you some freight, and then I'm going to charge you 10% of the load fee when I find you that good, great, phenomenal paying freight that I'm going to look for you for. So if you want to get some stuff that's free, if you want to take advantage of my good nature doing the load board report, do so by calling 866-973-6445. That's 866-973-6445 on the load board report. Now, let's go ahead and post this here on our Facebook thing. Let people know what we got going on here. That's what we're looking for. If you want to give us a call on Facebook. Let me go ahead and check to see if we got any messages on Facebook. Got some people who answer some of our questions, reacting to your billing. All right, got that. Yeah, I'm looking to check to see if anybody on here is ready to is needing some freight. If you need some freight, give me a call this morning, 866-973-6445, and we'll go ahead and get you all up and running and get some good freight. So far, we don't have anything on Facebook, so let's go ahead and no one's posted anything. Now, if you're on YouTube with us this morning and you are looking for some freight, and you don't want to call me up, just go on YouTube and tell me where you are, okay, what state, what city you're in, what type of trailer you have, and I'm gonna need your DOT number. You all might want to just give me a call, because a lot of you don't like to post your DOT number. So even though it is public information, anybody can find it. You can just go to saferweb.com and pull up every DOT number out there. But I'm gonna need that DOT number for us to be able to actually have a conversation with the broker this morning and actually grab your load. So, but in the meantime, let's go to our direct freight and let's see what's going on this morning here on the load board report. All right, look, here's what I like to do. I'm gonna give y'all some pointers here as dispatchers. If you are a dispatcher right now, or even if you're on operator, okay, I know you all have noticed that the load count has gone down. Okay, there used to be a time when Texas had almost 6,000, 7,000 loads. Sometimes there was some mornings come on here in the last 3 years. Texas was well over 7,000 loads, had 10, sometimes 11,000 loads. Florida itself was always consistently showing somewhere between 1,500 and 2,800, almost 3,000 loads. Alabama was up around 3,000, 4,000 loads. Georgia was up around 3,000 or 4,000 loads. These places like up here, PA, Ohio, all these places, they was up around 5,000 or 6,000 loads. California had about 3,000 loads. Even these places up here in Washington State, Montana, North Dakota, they was up in the 700, 800 load on the 800 load count. So 800 loads, 700 loads, 900 loads, 1,000 loads. But now you all have noticed that the load counts across the country have dramatically dropped. Now, some of you all are saying, what's wrong with the industry? Well, nothing's wrong with the industry. Some of you are saying, well, this is not normal. No, this is normal. Some of you are saying, what happened? I mean, we're in the industry is experiencing a downturn. No, the industry is not experiencing a downturn. What was going on in the last 3 years when the load count and the load amounts, the load fees were extremely high for the last 3 years, that was not normal, okay? What you are seeing now is normal. What brought that on over the last 3 years, what brought on the high load counts over the last 3 years was the fact that the industry was reacting to the panic of the general public from the pandemic, okay? When this whole thing started about 3 years ago, when rates started going way up and the load count shot way up, it was because there was a false need for supply. Let me repeat that. There was a false need for supply. So demand, there was a false demand for products and things, which caused the industry to ramp up its supply, okay, to put out more loads. When the pandemic first hit, it caught us by surprise. We were not prepared. No one in the entire world was prepared for it. They had no vaccines in place. They had nothing to fight it. And this was a deadly virus. It was killing people left and right. We're talking about tens of thousands of people every day across the country. Literally, okay? People were dying in droves. It was like something out of an apocalyptic movie. And people panicked. The government panicked. Everybody panicked. The government and health organizations, they panicked because they didn't know how to get a handle on it, so they just told everybody to stay home. They demanded that everybody start wearing masks. Don't touch each other. Wash your hands. Don't be in contact around other people, stay home, quarantine. So the streets were like ghost towns. That's scary stuff. And when you did go out, all you saw was everyone wearing these masks. So that's scary stuff. So that caused people to panic. People were not able to go to work, not able to go to school, not able to visit the restaurants or anything. So they were stuck at home with no cure in sight, and no one really had an answer, so they panicked. They started thinking, well, we're gonna run out of stuff. Let's get more toilet paper. Let's get more food. Let's get more blankets. Let's get more this. Let's get more that. Let's get more of everything. Let's stock up on fuel. Let's stock up on everything we can stock up on, because from all looks, it looks like we're all gonna die from this COVID thing, this Corona thing, if we go outside. So that caused a panic. And when people started buying up all this stuff, the stores were not prepared for that false demand for supplies. So the stores and the cabinets became bare. There was nothing left in the stores. So therefore, what had to happen? Shipping had to ramp up to replace stuff that was being bought out of stores at crazy mass hysteria. So that created the false demand. The false demand created an inflated rise in supply. And this lasted for well over a year, because it took over a year for them to come up with a vaccine that they could put out that would actually help prevent people from dying from this. But even the vaccine itself, it caused panic, because it happened so fast. People were not, they were not trusting of it. They had all these theories about what the vaccine was going to do. It was going to turn into zombies. It was going to do this. It was going to do that. So no one really got the vaccine, and people went out and bought more stuff because they just thought that was going to be a big chaos too. So you had all these false things that happened that caused this great panic, which causes a false sense of demand, which causes the supply to go up. That's what created all this for the last 3 years. And now what you are seeing is, because the vaccine is out, because they stopped people from dying from COVID for the most part, and jobs have come back. Unemployment now is lower than it's been in almost 3 decades now. It had got up way high, but now all the jobs are back. But now they're having trouble finding people to work the jobs that are actually back. So unemployment is down to record lows now, okay? People are back out at work. Stores are opening up, schools are opening up, people are going about their business. They're at the parks, they're at the movie theaters, they're going to concerts. That panic has subsided. Now that panic has subsided, guess what? There's no more false need for that great supply, which brings it back down to where it normally was before the pandemic. So for those of you who came into this industry after 2020, after 2019, you have been experiencing for the last 3 years the abnormal, the high load counts, the high rates. That was all abnormal. That was not normal. This is normal. This is where it was back in 2017, 18, 19, and before then. This is where the normal count was. So this is the real trucking and freight industry. What you all experienced in the last 3 years was not real, okay? Now, some of you say, well, Calvin, what about the race? The race was up high. There was up, there was a lot of good paying freight during the 3 years. You can't tell me that was false. Yes, that was false too, because that was brought on by the demand, okay? Not only that, what else happened here lately within the last year? The war in Ukraine. Now, a lot of you are probably saying to yourself, well, Ukraine, what is Ukraine? What is Ukraine? Well, we all know what Ukraine is now, but when that war first hit, a lot of you all didn't even know where Ukraine was, what Ukraine was, how Ukraine played a major part in our shipping and our products and the prices of things here in the United States and around the world. For those of you all who don't know, Ukraine is a European country, okay, which was independent. It was not part of Russia or part of anything else. It wasn't even part of the UN. But Ukraine had the unique distinction of being the country that supplied the world with most of its grain. Grain is what makes most of our food. But grain is attributed to making most of our food, our cereal, our grits, our rice, our, all that stuff that we eat on a normal basis. Most of it comes from grain. And Ukraine supplied most of that grain. Most of the grain farming was done in Ukraine. Grain manufacturing was done in Ukraine. Ukraine also supplies Europe with 70% of its power because it has the largest nuclear power plant in Europe. Okay, so most of the European power is supplied by that power plant, that nuclear power plant in Ukraine. Ukraine also sits in a very strategic location because the oil pipeline that supplies the United States and Europe with most of its fuel, most of y'all think most of the fuel and the oil comes from the Arab countries. They do have a lot of oil coming out of Arab countries, but we do not have the rights to that fuel and that oil coming out of Arab countries. We have to go out and do arrangements every year to get some of that oil. But most of the oil runs through the pipeline. This runs through Ukraine. So when Mr. Putin, in his wisdom, I say that very likely, decided, well, I need to go in and take over Ukraine because they have the grain, they have the power, they have the fuel. So if I take over Ukraine, then I have the fuel, I have the power, I have the grain, and the world would have to bow down to me. Y'all see what happened? So when that war happened, it choked off that supply of grain. It choked off that fuel supply that was coming through. It choked off the power that's going over to Europe. And when you choke off something and we're dependent on it, because everybody knows here in the United States, we love our cars. We have to have our car. We have to drive. Hell, we go out and drive just when we ain't got nothing to do. We get bored. Let's go for a ride, right? So when that cut off, and it was harder for us to get fuel, guess what? Fuel prices went way up. So when fuel prices go way up, the United States was already panicking because of the pandemic, false supply and demand. Now we got harder time to get fuel prices going up. So guess what? The freight to move all that stuff goes up too. Why? Because trucks run on fuel. They only get 5.56 miles to the gallon, so it became more expensive to run the freight. So the industry, as we all know, the industry will always adjust itself to compensate for the economy, to compensate what's going on with the economy, to compensate for high fuel prices, to compensate for that stuff. So the industry adjusted itself. The shipping industry, it adjusted and raised the price of the freight to offset the high price of fuel. Well, now all that's starting to come down because when fuel prices jumped up to $5, $6, $7 in California, almost $10, $11 per gallon, now fuel is back down to below $5 a gallon. In some places, it's below $4 a gallon. It's like $3 and something a gallon now. So guess what? The freight rates, the industry compensates for that again. And it brings these rates and stuff back down. So that's what you all have been experiencing over the last few years. You all have been experiencing a false market, okay? The market for the last few years was not a real market. It was a false market. It was a bubble. For those of you who were in the real estate industry and the mortgage and banking industry, you all know what a bubble is. It was a bubble. And that bubble has popped. Boom. All the air has been let out of that bubble. So this is normal, people. For those of us who've been around for a while, who've been doing this for about 7, 8, 9, 10 years, we recognize that what was going on was not real and it was not going to last. I have been preaching that for the last 2 years, that what you all were seeing was not going to last. The high rates, the high load count was not going to last. I have been preaching for years on showing you all how to find freight and how to move your carriers around to the areas where you have short run freight that costs less fuel to run, that's going to make you more money. I have been preaching that for years, that if you got carriers up here in these states where you have a low load count, you need to have a conversation with your carriers and show them that if they move down to these areas, they have good load count and make money down there, stay down there for a week or two and make money, and then go back home every weekend. That's how you're going to make money in this industry. But you got a lot of these new dispatch trainers and freight broker trainers that came in the last 3 to 4 years, and they didn't know anything about what the normalization of this industry was, and they were basing all their training on a fake market, on a false demand. So all their training was all basically geared towards, we got a lot of freight, why didn't grab it? Well, it takes more than that. It takes more than that, people. And now, those of you who learn from those, you know, Johnny-come-lately trainers and Johnny-come-lately freight broker trainers and platforms and stuff, those people don't know what they're doing. They didn't know what they were doing. They were teaching you stuff from a false market. So now it does not apply. Now I'm getting calls every day from people who are not part of part of my network, people who are not signed on to my dispatch agreement. You know, I get calls from carriers now. I need a dispatcher. I need a good dispatcher. I need someone that knows what they're doing. Help me, help me, help me, help me. So I am announcing today that the RBBS is just started, said it's opening itself back up to bring it in more. We're going to contract with more owner operators. And in doing so, to meet the demand of all the owner operators out there who are looking for dispatchers now, good, competent dispatchers. The RBBS is just learning center is going to be hiring dispatchers. We're not going to do this right away. We're probably about a month off, but here in the near future, we are going to be hiring more dispatchers. We're going to go on a nationwide campaign to hire dispatchers and to train them to actually work for the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. Okay, so that's coming, and you know, I never wanted my dispatch firm to get way too big, but the demand for dispatching is great now. Why? Because you got a lot of these carriers out here that don't know how to operate, that came in late within the last 3 years. They came in under a false market, under a false, you know, literally a false market, and did not realize that those were not normal rates, those were not normal load counts, and now they need to learn how to find good paying freight and to make $300,000, $400,000, $600,000 in this regular market. Okay, so we're gonna be doing that. All right, let's go back over to YouTube and see what we got here. Good morning from B. Ross, Paul Cruz. There was no need to worry about fuel. The United States has oil that could have and still could be in a half of current price. Yeah, they do have oil, but we don't have an unlimited. We don't have an unlimited supply of oil. We have what's called reserve oil. Okay. The fuel that the United States have, most of it is reserved for the military, in case y'all didn't know that. I spent 10 years in the military. I was in logistics side of the military as well as in combat. You know, the fuel that the United States have, they have reserve fuel. It's in our reserve. Okay, most of the fuel that we have is not for the general public. Now, in times of crises, the president has had the authority to release fuel from those reserve tanks, from those reserve oil refineries and things like that, which he did, which put a cap, which kind of kept the fuel price from going completely off the hinge. I know a lot of you all don't like Biden, but you know, that doesn't matter. Whether you like him or not, he did the right thing. You know, there's a lot of people out there that will say, well, you know, President Biden, well, Biden does not control oil prices. Biden does not control the economy. No president does. No president controls inflation. No president controls oil prices. No president controls any of that. Okay. That's not how it works. And for those of you that think that we do, y'all know me, I don't mix words. You're delusional. You are delusional if you think the president controls that. Okay, if that's the case, if you think the president was responsible for the inflation and responsible for the unemployment and responsible for all the stuff that was happening before he got there, which was in 2009, which happened in 2017, 18, 19, or whatever the case may be, all that stuff kind of came about afterwards during that fact. So if that's the case, if the president was to blame for all that, who are you going to give the credit to for the record low unemployment right now? Who are you going to give the credit to for all the jobs coming back and more? Who are you going to give credit to for minimum wage in most restaurants and stuff, these little fast food places, $15, $16, $17 per hour? $17 an hour. Who are you going to give credit to for the fuel prices coming back down? See, you can't have one side sword. You can't say, well, he did all this and caused all this, and then when it gets good, well, he didn't do none of that. Come on, stop being a hypocrite. Stop being hypocrites, people. Let's be real. Let's be real. Okay? This type of stuff is not controlled by either party. It's not controlled by a president. It's not controlled by that. It's the economy. This stuff is controlled by the mentality and the nature of consumers. That's what it's controlled by. The mentality and the nature of consumers. Now, people that do cause some things to have some control over that is when a foreign leader have some type of control of that, is when they engage in war, when they have a war or something that impacts a certain area, and that certain area, like Ukraine, has access to all this stuff or supplies a lot of the stuff, and that gets choked off. Then how we react to it as consumers is going to control what happens within the freight industry as far as the rates, the economy, prices, fuel, unemployment. That's what causes that. How we reacted to the pandemic is what caused that. How we reacted to the war in Ukraine and the lack of fuel that we was getting and the lack of grain that we was getting is what caused what happened. Okay? Ultimately, consumers are in control. Ultimately, we are. Everything reacts to what we do. If we buy, it reacts. If we don't buy, it reacts. Okay? That's how the world economy works. And the sooner people understand that and get off of this side, that side, my side, your side, the better off we will be. All right? All right. So there we have it. All right. So other questions we have, Lisa, do you offer training? Yes, I offer training. But right here, where you see where it says, let me click this again. Right here where it says that I just posted it, where it says right there to get a free load is brought to you by the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. You see that where it says brought to you by the RBBS Logistics Learning Center? And see that link down underneath that? Click that link where it says your RBBSLLC.com, earn 100K. Click that link, that'll take you over to our area where you can get signed up for our training, for our platform. We have one of the best platforms out. No one gives you more access to tools, resources, training, support than we do. Name me another, training platform that gives the students more than 100 load boards. That's part of the platform. Well, you don't have to pay for load board access because we pay group access for it. More than 100. Show me someone out there, other platform that gives you more than 19 million plus shippers, access to every registered ship in the United States. Gives you access to several owner-operator locator sites where you can locate and connect with every owner-operator out there. All right, so that's what we have there. All right, let's look for some freight because that's what we're here to do this morning, look for some freight. I haven't gotten any calls this morning, so we still want you all, if you need freight, give me a call. Let's check on Facebook again to see what we've got on, see if we got anybody. We'll log on to our Facebook page and ask for freight. So far, it doesn't look like we have any takers. Commented on your post 2 minutes ago. Let me check this out real quick, see what the comment is. I need help getting customers. Tamika Johnson. If you're talking about for the dispatching or getting customers to run freight, you might want to take our training, because part of our training is how to locate. I'm on operators, locating carriers. That's part of our training, locating carriers. So you might want to, take our training, Mr. Johnson. I will answer that after we finish the load board report. I'll go ahead and give you a link where you can get that done. All right. Today, we're going to go ahead and look at what's going on today. All right. So let's check out Alabama, because Alabama's got a lot of freight this morning. Alabama has 1,049 loads this morning. So let's look on Alabama. Now, but before I do that, let's do this. What I normally do in the mornings, when I'm looking for freight, for my carrier, the first thing I do is I check the load map. The reason why I check the load map, because I want to see what's going on. I want a snapshot of the country. I want to see where the load count is low and where the load count is decent. Because when the load count is low, if I've got carriers in the areas of where they have low load count, I know right off rip that I'm going to have some difficulty finding them some good paying freight if the load count is low up in those areas. So there's a good chance I may have to move them or route them down to areas where the load counts are high and where it's easy to jump from state to state to state to state to state to get good freight and good paying freight. Okay, hope that makes sense to everybody. If you want to know more about that, take our training. Okay, but let's go over here to Alabama right now where the load count is pretty high. And the reason why I chose Alabama, because the states around it, the load count is high as well. You got Alabama, more than 1,000 loads. Georgia, more than 1,000 loads. Mississippi, close to 500 loads. Louisiana, close to 500 loads. Florida, more than 500 loads. So you got these surrounding areas of Alabama that has good freight. And there's also jump over just a couple of states over, you got Texas. You see what I'm saying? You go just a couple of states up, you got Indiana, Illinois, those areas. So this is what I'm looking for when I am evaluating the load map. Okay, so let's click on Alabama. Notice here, in Alabama, we have 1,049 loads. I'm gonna go ahead and click all the loads. All right. So let's see what's going on in Alabama. Now, as always, here is what you all want to look for when you're looking at a load board. When you're looking at a load board, obviously, you're looking for the best paying load. Looking for the best paying load. A lot of you all, when you look for the best paying load, you all will immediately go and click where it says pay rate. Okay. Now, on most load boards, when you first pull it up, it's going to look kind of scattered like this. Some freight showing the rate, some not. If you want to see all the freight that's showing the rates, you got to click where it says pay rate or estimated rate per mile. So you got to click this, and then that's going to change it and show you the rates first. All the loads that are posted with rates showing first, okay? And it's going to show it to you from the high to the low. Now, a lot of you all will come on here and you immediately go to this number right here where it says pay rate. Oh, that's $7,000. That must be the highest paying freight. Not necessarily. That number right there is not always the highest paying, not the best paying rate. Let me repeat that. It may be the highest number, but it's not the best paying freight. It's not the best rate. Okay. Right offhand, you can look down here and see one that's 6,500 below it. That is actually a better paying rate, a better paying freight. Why? Because it's almost twice as much per mile. This one is paying $8.18 per mile, even though it's at $7,000, but it's got to go 856 miles. This one is going 458 miles and it's paying $6,500, but it's showing $14.19 per mile. Why? Because it's less miles. You all see that? It's less miles. You always want to look for the freight that has the highest estimated rate per mile. Because the freight that has the highest rate per mile is always going to be better paying freight than the freight that has the high pay rate. Let me repeat that for those of you who kind of got lost and you said to yourself, huh? That don't make no sense, man. Well, let me explain this to you all. All right. If you got a load that's going 856 miles and it's paying $7,000, yeah, $8.18. That is a good paying load. Because compared to most loads that pay that much, this one is not going very far. But it is going to take you 2 days to run that load. So that's 2 days that you're going to have that's going to be tied up on one load. You're going to have to pay for fuel for that. Now remember, your trucks only get 5.56 miles to the gallon. 5.56 miles to the gallon. So that $7,000 is not what you're going to take home. Not close. Because you got 856 miles. The truck only gets 5.56 miles to the gallon, so you got to take that 856, show you how to calculate your fuel, what it's going to take to run a load. 856 miles, so you got the trip miles are going to be divided by, okay, are going to be divided by the gallons per mile that a truck gets. The truck gets 5.56 miles to the gallon. Okay, so you're going to divide that 856 by that 5.56. That's going to give you the number of how much fuel you're going to need. You're going to need 154 gallons of fuel. Okay, you're going to need 154 gallons of fuel. Now, you're going to take that 154 gallons of fuel that you need to make that run, and you're going to multiply that times whatever the price of fuel is right now. The average price of fuel right now is about $4.50. It has come down from a lot. So you multiply that times 4.5. And that's going to give you $693 that you got to spend on fuel. I think that's right. 154 gallons times $4.50. Yeah, you're going to spend $693 to run that one trip. So that $693 is going to come off of that $7,000. So now, what you have now, instead of having $7,000 minus $693, you got $6,307. Then you divide that by the 856. Now, this doesn't count for your insurance and all your other expenses you got to pay, but we're just going just on the fuel. So that's going to be divided by 856, divided by 856, the miles, and you get your true rate per mile, $7.03 per mile, not $8.18 per mile. Your true rate per mile after fuel is $7.36 per mile. Okay, which is still good, but it's not this right here. It's not that 1419. Why? Because you're going what? Less miles, more money. Now, this is also more weight. Both these are heavyweight loads. This has 70,000 pounds. This is 111,000 pounds. These are what we call overweight loads. These are heavyweight loads. So therefore, you can add more to your fuel because it's going to take more fuel to pull that heavy weight. It's going to take longer time. And this is actually not going to be a 2-day run. This is probably going to be a 4-day run, or maybe even a 5-day run. So this is an all-week run because of the weight. Because you're not going to be able to, and you got to look where you're going. You're going from Alabama to Virginia. There are hills in Virginia. See, you have to really know how to evaluate a load. You have to know the layout of the land. You have to know what's going on in the places you're going to. Okay, so if you got this extra weight combined with you going up in Virginia, and there are steep hills, some people even call them mountains in Virginia, that's gonna take all week to probably run that load. And you're gonna spend more money in fuel. So that is obviously not the best paying load. Now, if you want to find the best paying freight, here's what I do. Click the estimated rate per mile. You're gonna click that. When you click the estimated rate per mile, you notice you're gonna get a lot of low trip mile runs. A lot of low trip mile runs. But that low trip mile runs has high rate per mile. Has decent paying rate, but you're gonna spend almost nothing in fuel. Because you got a 14-mile trip. You ain't gonna spend no money in fuel on that. You're going from Mobile, Alabama to Theodore, Alabama. This is a reefer run. It's 41,000 pounds in weight, $560. You're getting paid $40 per mile. That's a quick $560, and you're probably gonna keep $520 there. Because you ain't gonna spend $520 there. Because you ain't gonna spend no money in fuel running that little short run. And you got time to do what? Run more short runs. You see, look, 3 short runs is always gonna equal more money than 1 long, high-paid run. Let me repeat that. 3 short runs are going to come out to be more money than a high-paid long run. Because those 3 short runs, you can run them in 1 day. Thus, you can run 3 short runs every day, 5 days a week. Versus that high-paid long run, you got to run that long run, what, 3 days, take you 3 days, 4 days, sometimes all week to run a long run. So that money you made in that long run, and you spent a whole bunch of fuel in that, making that long run, brings that down some. Then the fact that you took all week to run that long run when you couldn't run any more runs, that's gonna put you at a disadvantage in your pocket. Okay? Short runs will pay you more money each and every time. This is what I've been teaching for the last 3 years, because these high rates that you all have been seeing and these high load counts, they were not going to last. And this is how you have longevity and prosperity in the industry, by practicing what I'm showing you all right now. Let's check my YouTube channel real quick. Paul Cruz says, how much for what? If you go to the link, it shows you how much it is. Okay, look, it's a simple thing to do. Click the link. It's not gonna hurt you. Okay, if you click that link, your computer's not going to explode. If you click that link, I'm not gonna get inside your head and read all your thoughts. Okay, look, people, this is very simple. If you click this link right here that I put up, this little link that I put up here, y'all see it? I'm putting it up again. If you click the link in that, it tells you right there what it costs. If you go to our thing right here, it tells you right here, our most popular, see right here where it says access to, all that stuff you get access to, our most popular enrollment is just $349.95, that's plus tax, and a monthly subscription of $39.95 per month. You get all this stuff. All this stuff you get, all of our training, access to all these load boards. In other words, we're gonna save you between $200 and $600 per month, because you don't have to pay for load board access. Load board access costs anywhere from $50 a month, $49 a month, up to $149 a month. And you're gonna need at least 4 or 5 load boards to keep your carriers running consistent. Okay? So for those of you who were asking questions about how much our training costs, it's all right there in the links that we put out. If I put up a link that says training, takes you to our training platform, it tells you the price right there. And it even tells you can pay with afterpay. You can pay it in weekly installments if you want, if you so choose to. If you want to see what some of our other stuff costs on the other enrollments, it tells you right here. We have a veterans enrollment that only costs $249.95, $29.95 a month for the monthly subscription. We have a corporate enrollment for those of you who have employees. We'll train you and your employees. It tells you how many employees and what it costs total. So click the link. I promise you, it won't hurt you. If you click the link, I promise you, it will not hurt you. Just click the link. That's all you got to do. It's not going to hurt you. Okay? I promise you. It's not a link that's going to, you click it, I got to stop. No. It's just a link that takes you to where you can get more information. And if you want to sign up, click where it says sign up or enroll now, and go ahead and sign up. And I'll see you in training. All right? There we have it. All right, let's get back to what we were doing. Let's get back to what we were doing. All right. So you're looking for you're looking at the pay rate, okay? The estimated rate per mile. That's what you're going to look at, the estimated rate per mile, not the pay rate. Because short run loads are always going to pay you more money. Now, short run loads also most of the time equals dedicated freight. Whoa, did he say dedicated freight? Yes. Now, some of you probably say, what do you mean by dedicated freight? Dedicated freight is a load that runs repeatedly every day, at least Monday through Fridays, or at least 3 times a week or something like that. There's a lot of dedicated freight on load boards if you're looking at short run loads. Okay, I've been teaching this since the beginning. Okay, here's a load right here, right off that. 60 trip miles from Troy, Alabama to Andalusia, Alabama. There's a flatbed with tarp. This load is 48,000 pounds. It pays $350 or $5.83 per mile. And it runs pretty much every day. How do we know this? Today is Wednesday, the 7th. This load picks up today. Y'all see it right there? Picks up today. It picks up tomorrow. And it picks up on Friday. Okay? That's what we call dedicated freight. That's what we call dedicated freight. It picks up today, tomorrow, and Friday. Okay? That's what we call dedicated freight. Now, as a dispatcher, can you get your carrier to run all those loads? Yes, you can. Why? Because it's only 60-mile trip mile. Plenty of time to run that load and run another load and possibly run another load and get back to Troy to pick up the next load for the next day and do it all over again. Let's see if that's possible. Let's check to see if that's going to be possible. Okay? We're going to look at this load right here, Troy to Andalusia. Now, Andalusia is not a well-known name, so I would imagine you might have some difficulty getting out of Andalusia. But let's check that out. Let's look at the one that runs today. Let's check this one first. All right, let's look at this one right here. Okay, we have it. There it is. It's $350. You can negotiate that with the broker, see if you can get more money out of it. You got the equipment type, tarps, special information. Make sure you read special information. This is lumber. You need 6-foot tarps. Quick pay is available. The broker is Socata Logistics, 605-540-4046. Okay, so that one you know you can run. It's only 60 miles. So let's do a reverse search to see what else they got out there that's leaving from Andalusia. Now, we're looking for a flatbed. So let's do this right here. Let's do within 25 miles. Let's do within 50 miles of Troy. And let's look for flatbed with tarp. All right, there we go. And let's search. See what else we got out there. Okay, we got nothing within 25 miles of Andalusia. Let's go 50 miles of Andalusia. All right, here we go. All right, well, let's take out this right here. Let's take out this Troy. Let's take out Troy. And let's do this. Let me do this. Let me do this. Take out Troy. All right, there's nothing there. Let's go back to 50. All right, there we go. That's some freight. All right, let's look at the estimated rate per mile. I'm here again. Let's check out the estimated rate per mile. All right. Now, of course, you're seeing this load right here from Troy to Andalusia. That's the one that we just ran. The reason why you're seeing that because it's a real close load. You only got to go 60 miles deadhead to get back to that load. You're not going to pick that one because that's the load that picks up. That's the first load you ran. That's the load you're trying to get as a dedicated. So we're going to go down here. We're going to ignore this Troy to Andalusia. Okay. You got a lot of stuff that you can go back to Troy and grab and go elsewhere. You could do that. You can go back to Troy and you can grab this one to Rome, but it's going to take you 232 miles out. So that means you're going to have difficulty getting back to Troy to pick up that load for the next day. So you don't want to grab that one that's running way, way, way out. Okay, you really don't want to. We'll try to find something that doesn't run you too far out. And it looks like here, a load that's not going to run you too far out is going to be up here. 142 miles. I think I saw it up here. You're gonna want to grab this. You're gonna want to go back to Troy, which is 6 mile deadhead, which is doable. Or you can go to 33 miles to Chapman, Alabama, but you got to go 583 miles to Houston, Texas. That's not going to work, because then you will not be able to get back in time. You will not be able to get back in time to run that load. So this is your best bet. You're gonna deadhead back to Troy. You're gonna pick up a Troy to Alabama, Birmingham. Why do you want to grab that load? Well, for one, it's another dedicated. It is another dedicated. It's paying $2.82 a mile, which is decent. And it's another dedicated that you're going to put on top of your Troy load to Andalusia that will pay you $350. Okay? And Birmingham, Alabama is within a range of where you can get back to Troy by the next day and still pick that load up back in Troy. All right. And Birmingham, Alabama is a well-known spot, right? So it's probably got a lot of freight leaving out of Birmingham, Alabama, that will take you somewhere back towards Troy. All right. So let's look at this. That one does run on the 7th. That's good. So now you can run both these loads in the same day. Now you have to call up the brokers and negotiate the pickup time. Now, the only thing that's going to really trip you up on this is if the pickup time is a locked-in schedule. If the pickup times are not a locked-in schedule, you can arrange to pick this load up after you drop this load. You can say to them, look, I've got a guy who's going to be back in Troy at a certain time, and I wonder if he can pick that load up within that time frame. That's the conversation you're going to have with the broker. If that's not a locked-in scheduled pickup, then the broker says, he can make that because it's pickup time between this time and 4 o'clock p.m., whatever the case may be. So check to make sure that the pickup time is not locked in with the shipper. All right. So if it's not locked in pickup time, you can run both these loads. But let's check to see if the loads are doable to run and then get back to Troy. So, and this load does run on the 7th and the 8th. It looks like it runs every day. Okay. So you have another dedicated run. So we're going to look at this one here, pull it up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do a backhaul shirt. This is paying $400. The other one was paying what? $350. So it's $400 and $350 so far. Now you want to go back to Troy because Troy is where your audits started. And you want to get back there for the next day so you can pick that load up for tomorrow and do this all over again. So we're going to do a reverse search on this one to see if it puts us anywhere back close to Troy. And we're going to do flatbed. We're going to do flatbed with tarp. And we're going to do within 25 miles of Birmingham. We're going to do within 25 miles of Troy and see what happens. First of all, let's see what happens with that. No luck on that. Let's do within 50 miles of Troy. Let's see what happens. No luck on that. Let's do 50 and 50. See what happens. And we got a hit. We got a hit. This is good. This is good. All right. So now you're gonna go 45 miles deadhead from Birmingham and pick up a load in Hansville. This is also good. Why is this good? Because this looks like another dedicated. Y'all see that right there? It's another dedicated. So you're gonna go 45 miles to Hansville, and you're gonna pick up a load going back to Montgomery, Alabama. Now, this load has probably had a load that ran today, but it's probably already gone. That's why it's not on here. So, but you see, it does pick up on the 8th and the 9th. It probably had a load that picked up this morning, but it is 10:30 in mid-morning, so that load is probably taken. Okay. But there is a good chance that this load runs every day too. Okay. So if you're gonna grab this, you could do it. You could do it. Okay, you could do it. All right. It's only 45 miles and there's 136 miles back to Montgomery, which puts you within 50 miles of Troy, which means you'll be able to get to Troy the next day and grab that and load and run all this all over again. And this one is paying $4.50. Okay, it's paying $4.50. Y'all see that? It's paying $4.50. All right, so let's look at the miles and let's see what we've got mileage wise to make sure all this works. All right, so we've got 60 miles. We got 60 miles to begin with. Then we've got trip miles. What's the what was that? That's Troy to where? To Birmingham. We got 60 mile deadhead, so we got to add another 60 miles off a deadhead, plus 60 miles on the deadhead, plus 142 miles. So we're trying to see if this works mileage wise. See if you got enough miles. So that's 262 miles. All right, then you got to go 45 miles deadhead. And then you're going to run 136 miles. Which is going to put you back in striking distance of Troy. 443 miles. Easy peasy. Because the average driver can drive 500 miles on the ship. A good driver can drive 600, 625, 650 miles. That's the most you're going to get out of a good driver. Now, numbers wise, mileage wise, compliance wise, this works. But now you just have to coordinate this with the brokers. It's a matter of calling up each of the brokers and coordinating with the brokers. Okay, give yourself about an hour in between, hour and a half, and 2 hours in between unload time. You can determine this by asking the broker questions. Mr. Broker, you've had this rate here for a while, yeah. About how, on average, about how much time does it take to load at this particular shipper? It takes about an hour. They normally get loaded about an hour, 45 minutes. Now, okay, great. Now, here's another advantage that this has on your time. This is a flatbed. Flatbeds are generally quicker and easier to load than van loads, than reefers or van loads. The reason why reefer and van loads take such a long time to load, because you got to drive up into a little narrow box trailer and you got to place stuff in one crate at a time, one box at a time, one roll at a time. Okay? So, or one pallet at a time. All right? That's why it takes those long. Flatbeds are much quicker, much easier. Why? Because especially if it's lumber. If it's lumber, it's already tied up. Okay, it's already tied together. And it's on a thing where it's going to fit on the flatbed. You're going to come up with a forklift, slide it under. Once you slide it under, you're going to spread your forks out, right? Or you spread your forks out and you slide it under in the middle of what's called. You pick it up, you bring it over to the flatbed, you lay it down, right? You strap it down, you pull your forklifts out, you put tarp on it, you tie it up, strap it down, you're out of there. That's why I like flatbed freight, because it's quick. Quick to load, quick to unload. Dry van freight takes a little bit longer. So when you're doing these dedicated loads, when you're trying to do these dedicated loads, remember what type of trailer you have. See, this is all stuff you got to know in order to do this effectively and put your carriers on dedicated freight and make that good, quick, easy money time after time after time. And you know where your carriers are going to be, you know what kind of money they're going to make, and everything works out all great. Okay? So this can be done. You got plenty of time to run all three of these loads, and they're all dedicated, and enough time to get back to Troy, because your final drop is within 50 miles, within striking distance of Troy. This is within 50 miles of Troy where you first started. Bam. It is within 50 miles of Troy where you first started. To redo this all over again. and the type of money you got 350. Let's take a look at the money. Let's take a look at the money. This is before you negotiate any rates. Let's just go with what they're showing on the load board. You got 350 plus 400 plus another 450. So now you got $1,200 a day, 5 days a week. $1,200 a day, and that's before you negotiate anything. That's $6,000 a week. And what are you gonna spend in fuel? In fuel, you got 400 and how many miles? 425 miles. I think that's what it was. Hold on here. Let's check what you call it. I think you had 443 miles, I think is what it was. Yeah, you got 443 miles. So you got 443 miles. So you got $6,000, 443 miles. So let's check that out. 443 miles. You got 443 divided by 5.56. You're gonna need 79 gallons. And this is all in Alabama, by the way. So fuel in Alabama is not real expensive at all. So you divide that. Now, if you're in California or up in the northern areas, yeah, fuel will be kind of high. Let's check to see what the average fuel prices is in Alabama. We always want to check this stuff. In Alabama, let's check. Fuel prices in Alabama right now is averaging, look at that, boy, it's down. So let's check, that's for gas. Okay, it's $3, it's under $4 a gallon. Under $4 a gallon. Let's check diesel. Diesel fuel prices. Wow. Wow. Diesel fuel prices is around $4.80 per mile. Regular average $3.37, $3.38. So current average $3.37. Diesel $4.80. So that's in Alabama. That's in Alabama. So let's go back over here. Let's do our calculations. So let's times about you're gonna spend $382 in fuel all week. All week, you're gonna spend $382 in fuel. Come on, man. This is still good. I mean, this is good money. So that's 6,000 minus 382. So what you have now is 6,000. And this is before you negotiate before you negotiate the rate. You can easily negotiate the rate on each one of those, extra $100 on each one, and that will cover your fuel. That will cover your fuel. But even if it doesn't, but if you negotiated your rate to cover your fuel, right, you back up around 6,000, maybe 6,200. But at the bare minimum, you're at that on the week, and they're all dedicated times 52 weeks. They're still going to give that flatbed driver close to $300,000 a year after fuel. Now, you negotiate the fuel prices in, which is not hard because, I mean, that's extra $100 per load. If you get extra $100 per load, extra $150 per load, you're easily back up to around 6,000 or 6,200. If you negotiate that properly per week, that covers your fuel. Now you're sitting at what? Times 52 weeks. You're sitting at over $300,000 a year. Dedicated. Dedicated. Not worrying about where your carrier's got to be, not worrying about, driving all over the country. But this is how I train. Okay? let's check out my people over here. Okay. Pauses, I beg you, Calvin, so everyone could see and you can explain also. Do we have to sign a dispatch agreement to use your? No, you don't got to sign no dispatch agreement to use my training. If, I don't know what you're getting at, Paul. Are you a dispatcher or are you a truck driver? If you're a truck driver, you take my training, you got to sign a dispatch agreement. You take my training and just use what I train you to do to find your own freight. I ain't no big secret about that. If you're a dispatcher, you want to take my training, you don't have to sign a dispatch agreement to take my training. I'm training you how to run your own dispatch firm. I'm training you to make your own money. We don't touch your money. Okay? We don't touch your money. Okay? All of my students, when they come on and they use our back office tools and resources, they keep 100% of their own money. When they go out and they sign up a carrier, we show them how to do that. We provide them with scripts on what to say to even sign up a carrier. We teach them a script and teach them how to present that script. The money you make, that's yours. You just pay us that $39.95 a month. Keep using our tools and resources. Keep continually plugged into our mentorship, training. All of my students will tell you, if they call me up on the phone, what happened? I pick up the phone. If they got 2 or 3 questions that's not going to take more than 15 minutes, what do? I spend that time with them and I answer those questions. Now, if you're going to need more time, something that's going to take a half hour to an hour, then we ask you to schedule a private consultation because my time is worth money. And I charge $100 per hour for private consultation. You can also book private consultation with some of our other RBBS Logistics Learning Center owners. Got a call drop in the bottom. The other owners, Darren Stevens, Jen Williams, Tasha Washington, she's gonna be coming on as one of our the owners soon. So what you're gonna have in the future is not just me, not just my training platform, not just my YouTube channel. The RBBS Logistics Learning Center has what's called a trademark usage of opportunity, where individuals can become owners of their own RBBS Logistics Learning Center. And we're gonna have a network of trainers, a network of YouTube channels, a network of training platforms, a network of mentors, all under the brand of the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. So when you join or become a member or become a student or a member of our network, you're going to have access to all of the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers, all of the training, all of the training platforms, all of their YouTube channel and content, all of their mentorship, because we are becoming a network of trainers and platforms. Okay? So if you're going to join now, because we are currently seeking collegiate accreditation for our vocational school. Once we get that accreditation also applies to our online training. Once that happens, we are then able to get government funding to pay for people to attend our training courses, both online and at our vocational school. When that happens, the entry price point, the entry fee point is going to go up considerably. It is going to go up from that $349.95 to about anywhere from $1,000 to $2,400 on the entry. Why? Because 90% of the people who will be attending our platform training will be sent by government-sponsored agencies, and they just stroke a check. Okay? So our prices are going to go up. Okay? So if you're looking to join now, because once you join, you are grandfathered in, so to speak, and you have to worry about that. But yes, Mr. Cruz, $40 a month is great for what we are offering. No one else out there offers what we offer for that amount of money. And the initial enrollment fee is just $349.95 plus taxes. That can be paid over a period of 4 weeks throughout the pay. After that, your monthly subscription kicks in on 30 days. After that, and you'll start getting your monthly your invoice from us for that $39.95 per month for continuing access to all your back office tools, resources, training, and support. For the record, most people join our platform to get access to all the back office tools, resources, training, support. We have truck drivers, owner operators, dispatch firm owners who are up and running doing great, but they want to save money. So they join our platform. About 40% of the people who join our platform join it for the training. The other 60% join it just to get the big discount. I mean, let's face it. It is a huge discount. It's a huge savings. It is a huge savings. That's why people join our platform for those two reasons right there. 40% of the people who are within our platform join it for the training. These are new dispatchers, new people, new truck drivers who want to learn this stuff, so they join our platform for the training. Other 6% of the people join our platform, they join it just to get access to all the deep discounts. Get access to 100 load board. Get access to 19 million plus shipper. Get access to every broker in the United States. Get access to our network of industry professionals. Okay, and if they happen to have a question to it time to time, they can just pick up the phone and call me. I always pick up the phone. Always. So there you have it. Intermodal. Intermodal is basically just container loads. You can look for them on load boards. If you're looking for intermodal. Hold on, we got a call. It's coming in. This is Cal with RBBS. We're on the load board report. How can I help you this morning? Yeah, Gary, I'm in the middle of my load board report this morning. I'm getting ready to wrap up here. I'm in about 10 minutes. I need to talk to you anyway, because I went ahead and got that brokership with Go Capital. All right. All right, well, I'll call you back. Yeah, I'll call you back because I'm right in the middle of the of our broadcast. All right. All right. That was Mr. Gary Roberts, one of our past students. He was doing very well. Very well. Mr. Gary Roberts has his own dispatch firm, and he does a lot of other stuff within the industry. He also has a lending firm where he caters to truck drivers that need to buy trucks. If you need to buy a truck, he has a great lending platform that where they finance, they finance equipment, new truck purchases, things like that. So if you're in the industry and you need money for your whatever you're doing in the industry, he's a good guy to go to. Okay. He's also got me set up to where I am becoming a loan broker with the company that has great truck financing. So in the near future, we're going to be offering loan products for those of you who need to buy trucks, those of you who want to start your own businesses, the actual physical location and stuff like that. We're going to have great loan products for you all to take advantage of here in the near future as well. But intermodal is basically here's what you're going to look for. You're going to look for container, and some will even have it on their intermodal. See it right there? Van, intermodal, flatbed, intermodal, reefer, intermodal. Okay? So they're on the load board. That's the category you're looking for when you're looking for intermodal. Okay? You are also going to want to click container. Okay? That's what you're going to look for. You're going to want to click container. Okay? So let's search this. See if there's any loads out there. Let's look in. And usually you're going to find these loads in areas where there's some water around. That's what you're going to look for. Let's go to the load map. You're going to look for areas that's surrounded by like water Florida, Texas, California, where there's ports. A lot of those loads come out of ports. So you're gonna look for areas that have ports, New York, places like that. Okay. That's where you're gonna find a lot of the intermodal stuff. Okay. Rail place that has rail lines, like for trains, stuff like that. You're gonna find some intermodals there. Let's check here in Texas, see what they have as far as intermodals. Now, it's not going to be a whole large abundance of that type of freight, but they are out there. But as you can see, a lot of load boards don't really have a lot of them on there like that. Yeah, I don't see anything go 300 miles out. Nothing in Texas for that right now. Now, a good rule of thumb for you all really is to stick with regular flatbeds, regular reefers, and regular van loads if you're looking to make a good living as a dispatcher. I don't do cargo vans. I don't sign box trucks. I don't sign what's the other one? I don't do cargo vans, box trucks, sprinter vans, or hot shots. I don't do any of those. The reason why I don't do them because the loads are not that abundant on those, and really it's a waste of my time to try and find freight for loads, for those type of vehicles or type of trailers when there's not a whole lot of stuff out there. Okay, so and if you're looking for intermodals, that's the kind of the specific type of freight. As you can see, there's not very much of it out there, so you would do well to really stick with the stuff where the money is really made at. Now, is that to say you can't find it? No, you probably gonna have to go directly to the ports. You gotta have to go directly to ports, look for ports, and go directly to ports and get some freight from them. Yeah, that's what I said. You're gonna have trouble finding intermodal because it's one of those categories that's not a big demand for. Is not supported on the traditional load boards. You got to go directly to ports and contact the ports and see what they got that needs to be shipped from intermodal. Go directly to rail lines, train yards, rail lines where they have a lot of train type freight and see what they need. You got to have it's got to be transported from because intermodal. The word intermodal means basically the meaning of that whole word is different modes of travel for your freight on one destination. So in other words, it may come on a ship. That's one mode of travel from overseas. When it gets to the port, it gets on a truck. That's another mode of travel. It goes to a train yard. That's another mode of travel. When it gets to wherever it's going from that train yard, it's being loaded up on another truck. That's another mode of travel. That's why it's called intermodal. In case y'all didn't know that. Okay. That's why it's called intermodal, because it involves different variations of travel modes. Okay. It's not a freight you go and pick up at the shipper, it goes on a truck, it goes to the destination, that's it. That's regular freight. Intermodal has different modes of travel, all on the same destination. Make sense, everybody? Makes sense. So in order to get intermodal freight, look up freight forwarders, because freight forwarders usually deal with a lot of intermodal freight. They deal with freight that's coming from overseas, or they get on these ships, or these cargo ships, when it gets to the port, it gets on a truck, it may go to the airport, or it may go to a train station, then it gets on something else, and then it goes to something else, and it goes to something else. Okay? Now, you're not doing anything wrong, that's just the business. Okay? And, and you got a lot of trainers that don't know this stuff. So Look, you got a lot of freight broker trainers and dispatch trainers who have never driven a truck. They never ran their own truck. They never ran their own brokerage firm. Believe it or not, you got freight broker trainers who have never been a broker. You got dispatch trainers who've never been a dispatcher. They never owned their own dispatch firm. Believe that or not. They're just hustlers. They're hustlers. They see that this is a good market. They go to Google, put together them an ebook or something with a lot of information in it, shoot some videos, kind of wing it, and then put it out there, and then people buy into their program. But they've never driven a truck. They've never, ran their own trucking company. Most of them certainly have never ran their own brokerage firm, and most of them have never ran their own dispatch firm. I've done all that. I was a truck driver for Covenant Transport. If you want to learn how to drive a truck, go to Covenant. Truck never stops. One sleep, one drive. There's a team driving trucking company. One sleep, one drive. In the year I was driving with Covenant, I hit every state 7 times. 7 times, every state. How do I know this? Because I checked my Facebook location app. Back then when I was driving a truck, I checked my Facebook location app. It keeps track of where your phone has been. And during that year that I was driving a truck, I hit every state in the continental United States 7 times, at least 7 times. Some I hit more than that. That's a lot of driving, y'all. Behind the wheel. Mountains, flat, cold, snow, heat, rain, fog. It didn't matter. We drove it. So I know what it takes to drive a truck. After Covenant, I bought my own truck and ran my own trucking company. So I know what it takes to run a truck. After that, I started my own brokerage firm and was very successful in my brokerage firm. So I know what it takes to be a broker and how to run a brokerage firm and how to make money as a broker. And then I converted it into my dispatch firm, which is what I do today, my dispatch firm, and I train. So, I even own a vocational school. So if you're looking for someone with experience, which is what you should be looking for in a trainer or a training platform, make sure that the person you are considering giving your hard-earned money to train you how to do this, make sure they know what the hell they're doing. Make sure that they've at least done this before or something, that they gotta know what they're talking about. Okay. All of my students can tell you, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing because I've been there, done that. Okay. So, and I have very successful students, and they are glad that they joined our platform. So even my past students call me up on the phone and ask me questions that I answer. I'm not one of those, this is not one of those things where once you take the course and then, you move on, you can't call me up and ask me questions. Okay, so that's how it is. All right. I hope you all have enjoyed your time with me today because I have enjoyed my time with you all. I really have. I have really enjoyed it. I always do. Let me go ahead and get back over here. Look. I appreciate you all for sticking around with me this morning for the Low Board Report. It is 11 o'clock. We went a lot longer than we wanted to go, but it's all in good spirit. Hope you all learned something. Hope you all have got a great training this morning. Hope you all learned something from the Low Board Report. We need to get more people calling up looking for freight so I can engage with brokers and show y'all how this is really done. So if y'all got some carriers out there, you want to call me up in the morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. normally and tell me what the DOT number is and stuff. I'll look for freight for you and we'll call those brokers up to see if we'll get you booked on those loads. Thank you all again for joining me. Okay, I really appreciate it. Again, we are sponsored by the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. If you want to join our platform, simply go to this link that I have here. Simply go to this link. And there it is right there, the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. There's a link right there. I just put it on YouTube. Go to it, click on it, get signed up with our platform, and learn how to do the stuff the right way. Learn how to really become a part of a recession-proof industry, make great money, and and just be happy with it. I mean, look, I spent my entire morning here online with you all. How could I do that? I do that all the time. How can I do that and still pay for my home, all the stuff that I do? Because this is a great industry. This is a great industry. This is the most recession-proof industry on the face of the planet. And people are making $100,000+ a year consistently every single year in this industry. I've never made less than 150 grand a year dispatching freight. Never. My first year, well, I take that back. My first year, I made $136,000. So I did fall below 150. But my second year, went above 200,000. So they kind of made up. Okay. So look, this is a great industry. You will not regret joining, becoming a part of this industry. You definitely will not regret signing up for our platform. Thank you all. You all have a great day. I really enjoy spending time with you all. And I'll see you all back here tomorrow morning on the load board report. And I promise I'll shave. I didn't shave this morning, but I'll see y'all back here tomorrow morning on the load board report from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. This has been Calvin with the load board report on what's going on in your neck of the woods when it comes to freight and load availability. Bye, everybody.